Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive. You're ready to explore something truly mind-blowing.
I'm always up for mind-blowing adventure.
Okay, well get ready, because today we're diving into the world of graphene.
Graphene.
Yeah, graphene. It's been called a miracle material, and for good reason. It has the potential to change everything.
You're not kidding. It's essentially a single layer of carbon atoms arranged in this super strong honeycomb lattice. It's crazy thin.
Like how thin?
We're talking 1 atom thick.
Wow, and you said it's strong.
Stronger than steel, but also incredibly lightweight.
So it's like a super-powered sheet of atoms.
Pretty much. And it's making waves in all sorts of fields, electronics, medicine, energy, you name it.
So today's deep dive is all about exploring those revolutionary uses of graphene, right?
Absolutely. We'll be looking at what makes graphene so special and how it's being used to create some truly groundbreaking technologies.
Awesome. Now, I did a little research before we started, checked out some stuff from nanography and Wikipedia.
Great sources.
And honestly, I was blown away by some of the things I learned. Like, did you know that graphene can be used to create solar panels that are flexible and transparent?
Oh yeah, graphene is a game changer when it comes to solar energy. Its superconductivity basically means it conducts electricity with almost no resistance, makes it perfect for creating super efficient solar cells.
Okay, I'm not assigned to superconductivity. Can you break that down for me?
Sure, think of it like this electricity flowing through graphene is like driving on a highway with no traffic.
Yeah.
The electrons can zip through super fast without any obstacles.
Gotcha. So that's how it makes solar panels more efficient.
Exactly. Plus, it allows us to create solar cells that are super thin and flexible. They could even be integrated into windows or clothing.
Wait, solar-powered clothes? That's insane.
That's just the beginning. Graphene is also revolutionizing battery technology. We're talking about batteries that charge faster, last longer, and can even be molded into flexible shapes.
Hold on, flexible batteries. Are you serious?
Totally. Imagine smartphones that charge in minutes or wearable tech powered by batteries woven into our clothes.
I can't even wrap my head around that. So it's like graphene is taking everything we know about electronics and turning it on its head.
You got it. And it's not just limited to electronics either. Graphene is making a splash in the energy sector in some unexpected ways. Did you know it's being used in nuclear power plants?
Nuclear power plants. Really? I wouldn't have guessed that.
It's true. Graphene membranes can be used to produce heavy water, which is a key ingredient in nuclear reactors.
Right.
And the cool thing is, this method is much more sustainable than traditional methods.
So graphene is making nuclear power greener.
You could say that. It's all about efficiency and finding new ways to harness energy. And speaking of efficiency, have you heard about thermoelectric devices?
Thermoelectric devices? Not really. Tell me more.
Okay, so these devices can capture waste heat, like from car engines, and convert it into electricity.
That sounds super useful.
It is.
Yeah.
And guess what? Graphene can make these devices even more efficient.
Of course it can. It seems like graphene can do just about anything. So we've got solar power, batteries, nuclear power. What else is on the list?
Well, how about something a little more down-to-earth, distilling alcohol?
Distilling alcohol, like making whiskey.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Graphene membranes can be used to separate ethanol from water at room temperature, which is the basis of distillation.
No more big copper stills.
Well, those still have their place, but graphene offers a more efficient and potentially more sustainable option for producing alcohol. And that's not even mentioning its potential uses in fuel production and water purification.
Wow, so we've got energy covered, but I'm also really interested in the medical applications of graphene.
Mm-hmm.
I read that it's making some pretty incredible breakthroughs in that area, too.
Oh, absolutely. Graphene is a game changer in medicine as well. It all comes down to its biocompatibility and its incredible sensitivity.
Biocompatibility, you mean it's safe to use in the human body?
Exactly. And its sensitivity means it can detect tiny amounts of substances, even at the molecular level.
Wow. So how are those properties being used to actually help people?
Well, one of the most promising applications is in targeted drug delivery. Imagine being able to deliver chemotherapy drugs directly to cancer cells without harming healthy tissue.
That would be huge for cancer treatment.
It would. And it's not just about treating cancer. Graphene is also being used to develop new methods for early cancer detection, which is crucial for successful treatment.
Early detection is key. And it sounds like graphene is on the front lines of that fight.
It is. There's even research exploring how graphene can actually inhibit tumor growth, which offers hope for a cure in the future.
That's amazing. So graphene is playing a role in both treating and potentially curing cancer.
It has that potential, and it's not stopping there. Have you heard about the non-invasive diabetes monitor using graphene?
No more finger pricks.
You got it. This device uses a graphene sensor to analyze glucose levels in fluids near hair follicles. No blood draws necessary.
That's a game changer for people with diabetes.
It is. And it's just one example of how graphene is improving healthcare for millions of people around the world. It's also revolutionizing dialysis treatment. Graphene membranes are much thinner than those used in traditional dialysis machines, which means shorter treatment times for patients.
So graphene is improving the quality of life for so many people. It's amazing. And we haven't even touched on its impact on electronics yet.
Oh yeah, that's a whole other rabbit hole. Get ready for skipper-fast transistors, more efficient microchips, and even flexible touchscreens.
Flexible touchscreens,
Yeah,
like foldable phones.
exactly. Graphene's connectivity and flexibility make it perfect for creating all sorts of bendable and foldable devices. We could be looking at a future where our electronics are completely different from what we know today.
I'm already picturing a phone that folds up like a wallet. But what about the power source? Will our batteries be able to keep up with all this new technology?
Well, that's where graphene comes in again. Remember those flexible batteries we talked about?
Ones that can be woven into our clothes.
Yep.
Imagine wearing a jacket that powers your smartphone or headphones. That's the kind of future graphene is making possible.
It's mind-blowing. And speaking of mind-blowing, I read that graphene could lead to hard drives with storage capacity 1 million times greater than what we have today.
It's true, graphene has the potential to revolutionize data storage.
Mm.
And that's just one more example of how this wonder material is changing the world as we know it.
I'm starting to think graphene can do just about anything. But I'm also curious, are there any areas where it falls short?
Well, graphene isn't magic. It definitely has its limitations. For example, while it's an amazing conductor of electricity, it's not a good insulator in its pure form.
Hmm. So there are some challenges to overcome.
There are. But scientists are finding clever ways to work around these limitations. For instance, by carefully arranging graphene layers, they can actually turn it from a conductor into an insulator.
Wait, so they can change its properties just by rearranging the layers?
It's pretty remarkable, right? This kind of manipulation opens up even more possibilities for graphene's use in electronics and other fields. It's like graphene has a secret identity. Mild-mannered carbon 1 minute, a super-powered material the next. I'm truly amazed by the sheer range of its applications. It seems like we've only just begun to scratch the surface of what's possible.
I agree. We're still in the early stages of exploring graphene's full potential, but what we've seen so far is incredibly exciting. It's a material that seems to defy limits, constantly surprising us with new and unexpected applications.
I can't wait to see what the future holds for graphene.
So
It feels like we're on the verge of a technological revolution.
I think you're right. And who knows, maybe one day we'll look back and wonder how we ever lived without graphene.
That's a great point. But for now, let's keep diving deeper into this amazing material. I'm eager to learn more about the specific ways it's being used to create real-world solutions. So what's next on our graphene adventure?
Well, how about we explore some of its more unexpected applications? Did you know that graphene is being used to create super strong silk and even enhance the properties of concrete?
Really? Graphene-enhanced concrete. Now that's something I have to hear more about.
I thought you might say that. So let's jump right in and see what other surprises graphene has in store for us. So, graphene-enhanced concrete. Pretty cool stuff, right?
Sounds pretty amazing. But how does it actually work? Do they just mix graphene in with the cement?
It's a bit more complicated than that. They actually use graphene oxide, which is a form of graphene that's easier to disperse in water.
Ah, okay. So they mix the graphene oxide into the water that's used to make the concrete.
Exactly. And the results are pretty impressive. The graphene oxide acts like a reinforcing agent, making the concrete much stronger and more durable.
How much stronger are we talking?
Studies have shown that adding just a tiny amount of graphene oxide, less than 1% by weight, can increase the compressive strength of concrete by up to 30%.
Wow. That's a significant improvement.
It is. And there are other benefits, too. Graphene oxide also makes the concrete more resistant to water damage and cracking, which means it could last much longer.
So we're talking about buildings, bridges, and other structures that are stronger, more durable, and more resistant to the elements.
Precisely. And that has huge implications for the construction industry. Imagine buildings that require less maintenance and have a much longer lifespan.
That sounds like a win-win for everyone.
Yeah.
And it's not just about making concrete stronger, right? I read that graphene is being used to create super insulating paints, too.
That's right. These paints use graphene nanoplatelets to create a barrier that blocks heat transfer. They can be used to coat everything from cars and ships to houses, keeping them cooler in the summer and warmer in the winter.
So graphene is making our homes more energy efficient.
Absolutely. And it's not just about saving money on heating and cooling costs. These super insulating paints also help reduce greenhouse gas emissions, which is good for the environment.
Graphene is like a superhero for sustainability. It's making our buildings stronger, more durable, and more energy efficient. It's even helping us fight climate change. Is there anything this wonder material can't do?
Well, it's not magic, but it's pretty close. And one area where it's really shining is in the world of audio technology. Have you heard about graphene speakers and headphones?
I have. And I'm really curious about them. How do they actually work?
Graphene's unique properties make it ideal for creating ultra-thin and lightweight speaker diaphragms. These diaphragms can vibrate much faster and with greater precision than traditional materials, resulting in incredibly clear and detailed sound.
So we're talking about speakers and headphones that sound
You
amazing.
got it. Graphene audio technology is still relatively new, but it's already making waves in the industry. Audiophiles are raving about the improved clarity and detail they're hearing. And the best part is, graphene speakers and headphones can be made much smaller and lighter than traditional models, which makes them perfect for portable devices.
That's awesome. So graphene is making our music sound better too. It's like it's taking over the world one industry at a time.
It's definitely making its presence known. And it's
Yeah.
not just about improving existing technologies. Graphene is also paving the way for entirely new applications, like those flexible robotic parts we talked about earlier.
Oh yeah, those sounded pretty sci-fi.
Right.
Remind me how those work again.
Sure, so these robotic parts are made from a special gel that's sensitive to light. When you combine this gel with graphene, you create a material that can change shape and move in response to light stimuli.
So it's like a light-activated robot muzzle.
That's a great way to put it. And this technology has incredible potential in fields like search and rescue and medicine. Imagine tiny robots that can navigate through rubble to find survivors or even perform delicate surgical procedures inside the human body.
That's mind-blowing.
Yeah.
It's amazing to think that all of this is possible because of a single layer of carbon atoms.
It is, and that's what makes graphene so fascinating. It's such a simple material, yet it has the potential to revolutionize so many different aspects of our lives.
We've talked about graphene's impact on energy construction,
Sure.
audio technology, and even robotics. What other areas is it making a difference in?
Well, one area that's particularly exciting is photography. Imagine cameras so small they're practically invisible, yet capable of capturing images with incredible resolution.
Invisible cameras. That sounds like something out of a spy movie.
It does. But it's becoming a reality thanks to graphene. Graphene-enhanced camera sensors are incredibly sensitive to light, which means they can capture more detail in low-light conditions. And because graphene is so thin, these sensors can be made much smaller than traditional sensors.
So we're talking about cameras that can see in the dark and are small enough to be hidden just about anywhere.
It's definitely a possibility, and that has implications for everything from surveillance to wildlife photography.
Wow, graphene is opening up a whole new world of possibilities. And remember how we talked about graphene's potential in aviation? What's the latest on that front?
Researchers have been hard at work developing a graphene-coated airplane wing. It's lighter and more fuel-efficient than traditional wings, which could significantly reduce the environmental impact of air travel.
So graphene is literally taking us to new heights. And I also read that it's being used to make bulletproof vests and other protective gear even stronger and lighter.
That's right. Graphene's exceptional strength-to-weight ratio makes it ideal for protecting those in high-risk professions. And it's not just about protecting people. Graphene is also being used to create tougher and more durable materials for everything from cars to sports equipment.
It's like graphene's the ultimate armor, protecting us from all sorts of threats. But let's be realistic here. How far off are some of these amazing applications?
It's important to remember that while graphene holds immense potential, many of these applications are still in the research and development phase. There are challenges to overcome, such as finding cost-effective ways to produce graphene on a large scale.
So it's not quite ready for prime time yet.
Not quite, but the progress being made is remarkable, and I'm confident that we'll see many of these applications become a reality in the not-too-distant future. It's just a matter of time.
I'm definitely excited to see what the future holds for graphene. Feels like we're just scratching the surface of what's possible.
I agree. And the best part is new discoveries are being made all the time. Who knows what incredible applications we'll uncover next?
It's mind-boggling to think that all of this innovation stems from something as simple as a single layer of carbon atoms. Graphene is truly a wonder material, and it's clear that it's going to play a major role in shaping the future of our world.
It really is amazing what this one material can do. Graphene's versatility is just mind-blowing.
I've been thinking about all the applications we've discussed, from electronics to medicine to even bulletproof vests. It's clear that graphene has the potential to impact pretty much every aspect of our lives.
I agree. And what's even more remarkable is that we're still just scratching the surface of what's possible with graphene. New discoveries are being made all the time. Who knows what incredible applications we'll uncover next?
It makes you wonder, what other surprises does graphene have in store for us? What other industries will it revolutionize? What problems will it help us solve?
Those are great questions. And while I don't have a crystal ball, I can say with confidence that graphene's future is incredibly bright. This material has the potential to change the world as we know it.
I think you're right. And that's what makes this deep dive so exciting. We're not just talking about abstract scientific concepts. We're talking about real-world applications that could have a profound impact on our lives.
Absolutely. And it's important to remember that graphene isn't just a material for scientists and engineers to play with. It's a material that has the power to benefit everyone, from improving healthcare to protecting the environment to creating new and exciting technologies.
Speaking of protecting the environment, I remember reading about how graphene is being used to coat underwater oil and gas pipelines to prevent corrosion.
Oh, yeah, that's a fantastic application. Those pipelines are constantly exposed to corrosive seawater, which can lead to leaks, damage, and potential environmental disasters.
That sounds like a nightmare scenario.
It definitely can be. But graphene is offering a solution. By coating the pipelines with graphene nanoplatelets, we can create a barrier that protects them from corrosion. It's a win-win for both industry and the environment.
So graphene is helping to safeguard our oceans, too. It's like this material is on a mission to save the world.
I like the way you think. But in all seriousness, graphene's potential to address environmental challenges is one of its most exciting aspects. From cleaning up oil spills to creating more efficient solar cells, this material is playing a crucial role in creating a more sustainable future.
It's incredible to think that something as small as a single layer of carbon atoms can have such a huge impact.
Yeah.
But I guess that's the power of nanotechnology. It's all about manipulating materials at the atomic level to create something entirely new.
Exactly. And graphene is just one example of the incredible things that are possible when we start thinking at the nanoscale. There's a whole world of wonder waiting to be discovered down there.
It's mind-blowing. And it makes me wonder what other nanomaterials are out there waiting to be unlocked. What other breakthroughs are just around the corner?
I don't know the answer to that, but I'm excited to find out. The world of nanotechnology is full of possibilities, and I have a feeling we're just getting started.
Well, that's a thought-provoking note to end on. It's clear that graphene is a game changer, and it's going to be fascinating to watch how this material continues to shape our world in the years to come.
I couldn't agree more. And who knows, maybe one day we'll look back on this deep dive and marvel at how far we've come.
I have a feeling you're right. But for now, I want to thank you for joining me on this incredible journey into the world of graphene. It's been an absolute pleasure exploring this amazing material with you.
The pleasure was all mine. And to our listeners, if you're as captivated by graphene as we are, be sure to subscribe to The Deep Dive on YouTube and Spotify. We'll be back with more deep dives into fascinating topics, exploring the wonders of science and technology that are shaping our world.
And as we've learned today, sometimes the smallest things can have the biggest impact. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.